So, as we leave Threed, we enter the filler-tastic portion of Earthbound, which is pretty much everything concerning the city of Fourside. Between the two cities, there is a desert. And your first time in the desert, you will encounter a traffic jam, something that doesn't exist anywhere else in the game. And as you were the only people leaving Threed, it makes very little sense that this exists at all. There's literally just one road that connects Tucson, Threed, and Fourside. So, you gotta get out of the bus, and you have to walk through the desert. There are a lot of things you can interact with in the desert, but virtually none of them matter in the least. And just being in the desert will cause your characters to get sunstroke. And if you're not a high enough level, you'll have to use an item called a wet towel to heal this. Since those cost money and take up inventory slots, I recommend spending as little time as possible in the desert. The only thing you actually need to do in this desert, other than walk through it obviously, is give a guy digging some food. So now when you go back to the road, mysteriously, the traffic jam has cleared, and you can walk your way to Fourside. Here, as we discussed previously, you'll find that the Runaway Five have yet again found themselves under a terrible contract. Once you have that information, you get to go back to the desert, where that gentleman that you gave food to has excavated a huge tunnel. The problem is, there's some very aggressive moles in there. 5 to be exact. So despite him being like a burly guy that digs in the earth, he needs the help of some teenagers to clear out 5 moles. Doing this will have him give you a diamond as you're walking away. And conveniently, that diamond is worth the exact amount of the Runaway Five's current terrible contract. It's also at this point that you can find out that Pokey, Ness's one-time friend from the beginning of the game, despite being a teenager, has somehow risen to political power within Fourside. Even assuming he's getting help from the nebulous aliens that are running things, how does that work exactly? Speaking of the aliens, you get to go to the department store, which is finally open. And the only reason you go here is so Paula can get kidnapped. She was probably already the lowest level member of your party, but after she's kidnapped and you have to do a couple of things, she's definitely going to be the lowest level member of your party. So with Paula missing, you now have to go and do Moonside. In what is very clearly a bar, but the game refers to as a coffee shop, you are transported to a neon version of Fourside, Moonside. And this is sort of a 16-bit attempt at being inside a dream, I think. You get teleported around the map at certain points. You have to accomplish a very odd and kind of surreal goal to escape. And it ends with you finally getting to fight an evil statue that's showing up a few times throughout the game. And once you escape Moonside, you get to do my most hated activity in the entire game. The monkey trading sequence in the desert, which I'm not going to go into detail here because there's a whole other video all about that. But you need a lot of inventory slots, and Jeff and Ness are the 2 worst characters for inventory slots. After this, you need to try and visit Pokey again, where Ness and Jeff have to fight a robot. They can't actually win this fight. Instead, the Runaway Five come in and take care of it. I'm not sure why they decided to storm the building exactly, but they did. At which point, you'll finally have Paula back. And no, she did not level up at all during the events you had to experience without her. But it's okay, because you're gonna fix the UFO Jeff showed up on, and go to the next city. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.